Hello guys, welcome to MadFest. My name's Charlie Morgan and I'm the founder and managing director of Vodka. I founded it alongside Jackson, who's also my business partner and going on to be Charlie Sloth. We're the fastest growing super premium vodka brand in the world and now the biggest super premium vodka brand in the UK. So just going to take you through a few slides about what's our journey been so far and just a little bit of brand and the marketing tricks we've used. So here we go. Also, I will be taking a few questions at the end, so if anyone has any things, just keep a note and we'll go through it. So me and Jackson started, we were super young, like I would call ourselves kids when we started. I was 19, Jackson was 21. We thought like there was a bit of a gap in the market because we're from Swansea, as you can probably tell from my strong Welsh accent. But everyone in Swansea gets a bottle of vodka for their 18th or 21st birthday. So we thought, what can we do differently, which is going to make us stand out on shelf? All the other brands are kind of clear bottles, and we just felt there was something different that we could maybe do to try and appeal to that generation and give a different gift. So we came up with AU as a bit of a concept, an idea, and we thought like from my sort of feeling about brands and marketing is making sure you've got the most simplistic design. So like I like Nike, I like Apple as like really good examples. Like Apple is literally just an apple. Nike is a tick, it means good. And that is super simple, but every consumer can understand that just on the shelf. And so we kind of thought of, our chemistry GCSE helped a little bit, but we did AU, which is gold on the periodic table, and thought, let's create a brand which is going to be gold and, do everything around gold. So we've spent a lot of money on gold spray paint over the years and wrapping things gold. This is a photo of me and Jackson, the two founders, when we started in 2015. And then, so after that we created the brand. We were like, what can we do with the bottle? And then we were like, AU means gold, let's do a gold bottle. It wasn't too complex, our kind of way of working and how we were doing. So that's kind of what we did. We started with the gold bottle. We thought, this is a great bottle. It's going to, sell out, do really, really well. Then we looked at distilleries and liquid, because for any food and drink business, the liquid is actually the most important part, because the bottle will get someone to buy it the first time, but the second time is all about the liquid. They need to love the liquid to come back. So we went around, a lot of distilleries in the UK, some in Europe. We think we tried about 200 different liquids, not all in the same day, but we did try a lot of different vodkas over time. And we really felt then at this point we had a brand that was going to take over the world. And we were 19 and 21, so we had a bit of a dream, and we were dreamers, but we thought it was going to take over the world. And then pretty much the first 3 years, nothing really happened. So we thought we were going to take over everything, and we were kind of well, it's not quite worked. We went from 2,000 bottles to 4,000 to 5,000, but we had massive ambitions, and we were like, why is not everyone feeling what we're feeling? So then we sent Charlie Sloth, who was Radio 1 DJ at the time, super famous guy, had so many connections that we didn't have. We were two young kids from Swansea with a dream, and he was, experienced in the industry, had all the contact book, really, really well thought of in the industry. So we sent him a DM. This is the DM in 2017, literally just asking him if he wanted a free bottle. And then he kind of said, yeah, he actually said dope for sure, great packaging. So he said that back, and we kind of met him maybe 3 or 4 times. We used to go and meet him in Cafe Nero outside the BBC building. Me and Jackson used to travel up, and we'd go at 9 o'clock at night after his show, which is 4 hours from Swansea. We'd meet him for 20 minutes and drive 4 hours back. So it was a bit of a hard trip, but we did that, and we kind of 3 or 4 meetings later, he ended up investing into the business, and he actually invested. He got 20%. It was a little bit of money involved. It was 20% for 20 grand at the time, so it was a really good deal for him looking back, but it was also a really good deal for us because what he brought to us was massive. So this is a photo of me, Jackson, and Charlie, and we actually took the whole AU Vodka team, so 45 people, to Dubai, because we hit our target. That was last month. So that's kind of fast forwarding a bit of the story. And then from there, with Charlie and all his connections, really helped seed the brand. And we call that first year the seeding phase. So we got it in the hands of all the most influential people in the UK, through his connections, and really tried to get the brand in the right thing. But it still kind of wasn't really happening, do you know what I mean? But the big turning point for us was the black grape flavour. So when we released that flavour, we trialed different samples. We wanted to do a flavour which was completely different to all the different vodkas in the market. We created a bright purple liquid. We did Fredo in a private jet. That was the photo shoot. We did that. I think it was Maidenhead Airport. That jet, not many people know this, but actually doesn't actually fly. A guy literally pulled it out of the shed on wheels, which we thought was a bit sketchy. But the photos were amazing, and the videos that went from that, when we put them on TikTok, Instagram, all the different platforms, they went mental, and I think that was like the real big turning point for AU. Everyone now wanted to try AU and try the liquid, but it wasn't so much of a novelty bottle where they would buy the bottle once and maybe never buy it again. So that was kind of that real big turning point. In that year, then, we went from 150 grand of turnover to about 700 grand. So, we really felt at this point like we are doing some good stuff now. We thought, we can pay ourselves a proper wage, and we're doing quite well. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of where it happened. And then you fast forward, and then this is kind of where our business kind of completely changed overnight for the good, but it was like a mental, probably, year for us. So COVID happened in March 2020, which everyone knows. And the first 2 weeks, we had no orders whatsoever. And we were like, this is going to be terrible. We're going to have to do something else, different stuff. But for me, there's so many stories around this time. And I think Riders of the Storm, we think that we did in this time, which was really good. And I'll start with one, which this is me and Jackson here, labeling bottles. So the biggest problem in that time was getting enough bottles. We were using a small distillery. They had great liquid. How can we get more bottles out? So I ring Neil at 11:30 one night. How many bottles can you do a day? I can do 2,000. Can you do 3,000? Okay, I'll do it. And me and my wife and my kids will come in and we'll work till 12 o'clock at night to do it for you. Brilliant. Okay, great. Neil, we need 6,000 though, really, now. You've done 3,000, which is great, and you've worked all day, but we need a bit more. Do you know what I mean? So how can we do that? And I was like, one question we asked him was, how many can you do if you don't label the bottles? And he was like, well, actually, that's the longest process. So at this point, our bottles were all hand-labeled, and he was like, I can do 7,000 bottles. So this is the story, and then, us, and there's 3 or 4 people in that team who literally just worked and went through that and did those labels, and that was kind of a point of going through those storm and getting those bottles out, because every bottle we got out was another person that could consume the brand, post on Instagram, be happy, and do that, really. So that's that part. This is also quite a similar story. That's me in the warehouse as well, me and Jackson, literally in the early days, doing that. And this is actually a photo I'm super proud of. This is our record time we ever did, 600 bottles, which is a pallet, and we did it in 11 minutes and 32 seconds, which I'm super proud of, because there was a lot of, I'm not sure the quality on that pallet was that good, but it was a great time, and we are pretty proud of that. And then sort of where we've gone from there, we've kind of pushed on to today, and we've now become the fastest growing company in the UK. We've been the second most popular brand in the spirits industry from a marketing standpoint and social media, and with the UK's best-selling ultra-premium spirits brand. So that's kind of what's happened from the back of it, and that COVID year was so instrumental in what we did. So we went from £700,000 turnover to 38.4 million in 1 year, which was like a hell of a big year, to be fair. So, and it was one of those ones. Going through then, this is all the bit, I probably haven't explained in the journey and the marketing piece a little bit, but these are some of the famous faces that we've had with the bottle, and a really big part of us is all the influencers and the different guys we've had, and we've managed to get some really good deals in this, but we've got people like Floyd Mayweather, Ronaldinho, Ardy, Paddy the Baddy, don't forget Tyson Fury's dad, John Fury, to be fair. So, there. And then this is kind of talking through, a big thing for AU is our flavours. So we're known for our flavours. We've got 9 flavours now, and the biggest thing we'll do in a year is the flavour launches. We do them twice a year, and we'll do one in May, we'll do one in October, and the whole plan of what we try and do is we do a seeding phase. So the first thing we'll put on Instagram, on the socials, is the colour. So we'll release the colour of what we're going to put out, and then from there, everyone's guessing. Is it watermelon? Is it apple? Is it another green fruit, which I can't think of right now? But that's what they're all thinking, and for me, it's that gets the engagement up, that gets the content really working, and then everyone's really excited. Whereas if we told everyone exactly what it was, they wouldn't be so engaged. So then following on from that, then what we do is the video, the seeding video. So this is kind of, Jackson probably, and some of our creative team, Scott and Lewis, really love this, and they've got some crazy ideas. I always think in creativity and marketing, hire some really strange people and you get some good results, to be fair. So this is Scott's over there, to be fair. So this is some of his work.
I need to find out what the new flavour is. They've got to be holding it in the vault. You can run, but you can't activate green vision. The crew's here, but I can't find out what it is. He should be arriving in 30 seconds. There he is. Target has arrived. What's in the case? What's in the case? He's dropped it! He's dropped it! Oh my god. Oh my god, it's green! This is it! I got a call. Listen, I got the biggest job ever. I'm gonna need you and the lads on this one.
So that's kind of strange but unusual stuff we do, but it gets really people gripped, and I think that's the kind of stuff now everyone's kind of wanting to know the new flavour. Obviously, we did that flavour 2 years ago, so it's green watermelon is the flavour that we then released. And again, a big part of that is the imagery. So Lewis, who's kind of our head of content, will really make sure that that photo is incredible, because we know this piece of content is the one that's going to get the most amount of likes and the most amount of engagement. So that post then got 30,000 likes on Instagram, which is a credit to all the previous work we've done before, because without those 2 weeks or 3 weeks of seeding which we've done, then that wouldn't happen. So that's kind of how we do a new flavour. And then this is kind of just showing like what we've created from the back of all the marketing we've done. So this is a woman who dressed up as a red cherry bottle with a red hat and a gold outfit for Halloween. We've had over 50 people have AU tattoos over the years. This is our gold jet ski, which we've got in Ocean Beach currently. And then these are some of the collections of all the different ranges of products that people have got. And, there's some crazy super fans out there with literally AU everything, and like some people even with, photos of me, Jackson, and Charlie on their bedroom wall as well, which is, I think, is a little bit weird, but we'll go with it anyway. And I think it's pretty cool. And then so on that, and I think, the social media's a massive part of it, and we've managed to become one of the most engaged pages, and then kind of going on what's next for AU for us. And we think like what we've created in the UK is pretty special, and we're proud of it, but we also think that the world's a big place, and we haven't quite done that yet. So the stat I always love to tell is we sell 3 million bottles a year, Grey Goose sell 48 million bottles, and we're actually not doing that well. If you look at it that way, we're 7-point-something% based on those numbers. So that's what we've now tried to do, is really replicate what we've done in the UK. We've got a HQ in Atlanta, HQ in Amsterdam, so hopefully we're going to try and see some stuff of what we're doing similar across Europe and across America. So that's the next 2 or 3 years. And eventually, like for us, the biggest thing is to become like the first Welsh unicorn. I don't know if you've noticed I'm Welsh throughout this speech, but that's what we really love to do, because no one's done it yet, and that's what we'd love to be the first to do it. So yeah, that's me, and it's not credit just to me, but all the rest of the team, and Jackson and Charlie as well have been the founders with me in different bits. But yeah, that's me anyway. To be fair, if anyone's got any questions, then feel free.